Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm your host, Lisanne Faye. And so, we are, well, gonna go handle this.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
And that you're to watch him. But
It seemed very important to him.
Yeah.
It's not a decision to be made lightly. But now, Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
So,
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
yeah, so
Cassandra, did you refuse Cullen's request because he's wrong? Or because you want him to be wrong?
Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Great, so I have to go and talk to Cullen some more. And reassign tasks. And all these other things. Alright, and yes, I will be doing that in a moment. Actually, what am I seeing here? Are those... Yes. Actually, there's something I want to follow up on real quick. Because sometimes, maybe not this time, the Quizquisitor is here. I won't always remember to seek the Quizquisitor out. But when the Quizquisitor shows up, we will interact. Yeah, this needs to get stuff done to it. Alright. So, Cullen. Throws it at the door that I'm actually not entering from.
I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
Talk.
Cullen, if you need to talk.
You don't have... I never meant for this to interfere.
I believe you.
But whatever good it does, promises me nothing if I cannot keep them. Did you know Ferelden's circle was taken over by abominations? I was there. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that?
You aren't.
Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall's circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
Yeah.
Of course I can.
Don't. You should be questioning what I've done.
All
I
right.
thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did the Chantry. I should be taking it.
Don't take it out on the
I
books.
should be taking it.
But I like that frown the Inquisitor gets. So yeah, of course you get to influence this. And I'm actually going to encourage him to continue on his path of not taking it.
You give enough, Cullen. I'm not asking you for more. The Inquisition can be your chance to start over, if you want it to be.
I don't know if that's possible.
It is.
All right.
And of course people walk by in the background. Alright. Have fun. I forgot what's over here. Just rampart walking. Alright. There's one other place I want to check for the Quizquisitor before I go off and finish off my rounds of...
It wasn't so bad today. The cook was in a jolly mood. She didn't shout at all, even when I dropped the ladle.
Wow. I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbor upstairs. They are very loudly slamming their door. Wait a minute. Here are all the bottles we have found. This is also where sometimes you will find the Quizquisitor, insofar as I know. He just kind of pops up wherever. Okay, up the stairs, up the stairs. Which way is which? This is Josephine's office. And I don't think I spoke to Viv last time. Vivienne. Hello.
Can I assist you?
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course.
Let's start there.
What do you wish to know?
You know,
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val-Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
okay.
If the Circle disbanded, How can you still belong to it?
The circle is an idea, my dear, and an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
Okay.
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
Okay.
So tell me about your personal experience with the circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And there is comfort to be had, you know, in the company of fellow mages. Those born without magic will never truly understand us.
All right.
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the first enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive, perhaps too permissive in retrospect.
Okay, so I'll...
If the circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the circle in two. The rebels follow her.
Okay, yes,
The
yes,
loyalists
yes, yes.
follow me.
Alright, this is my fault for...
If you led all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
So, interesting to note, this does mean that she is the only First Enchanter. It's... And obviously not the only living one that used to be a First Enchanter. There are a few others, but it's hard to say whether or not if that meant she was the only First Enchanter to not want to rebel, or if that is interpreted to mean she was one of the few to not be at, and possibly the only one who was still in favor of the circles, to not be at the conclave and perish. So. Alright, game. Let me move. Alright. Oh, I haven't turned in research in a while. Here. Liliana.
Inquisitor. I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes?
Apparently.
The explosion at Haven, Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor? She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live. Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all?
Nope.
Please, if you remember. I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it. There are no answers in the fate. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
And maybe that's why there's the 2 there. Okay, yes, this is about Schmooples the Second. And Liliana's other nugs. Alright, down we go. I need to see a person about a conversation. Hello.
Inquisitor, Do you have a moment?
Sure.
What were you like before the anchor? Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
Insofar as I'm aware, no.
I don't believe so.
Ah,
Why do you ask?
you show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
And so what did you expect?
What have I done that's so surprising?
You have shown subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I expected. If the Dalish could raise someone with a spirit like yours, have I misjudged them?
It's hard to say, like, nature versus nurture. At the same time, the events of this have also changed me. So is that entirely due to the Dalish? Who knows? So that's why I am going with this one.
The Dalish didn't make me like this. The decisions were mine.
Yes, you are wise to give yourself that due. Although the Dalish, in their fashion, may still have guided you. Perhaps that is it. I suppose it must be. Most people act with so little understanding of the world, but not you.
So what does this mean, Solus?
It means I have not forgotten the kiss.
Which, you know, it's like, wait, what? To me, that actually did seem like a non sequitur. But this is still one of my favorite romance scenes of all time.
Good. Don't go.
It would be kinder in the long run. But losing you would.
And it's because of the little movements that happen in here.
Arlath Mavanan.
Like, right down to that ending pose. So, it's really one of the things I've probably enjoyed the most regarding Inquisition is its romance scenes. Like that. So, because I mentioned this, like, way early in one of my... like when I first came to Skyhold, and that was that I knew that I could receive falling damage, and if I tried to jump down to the courtyard from this point here. Yeah, I found that out right after that scene. Literally, I was like, I wonder if I can jump down to the courtyard from here, so that way I don't have to walk through all of this. Nope, dead. So that should tell you a fair amount. Why is there a Templar banner there? Still, that's just something that happened in my first playthrough. That in retrospect, I somewhat find hilarious. Game, you okay? But, yeah.
This is where a smith should be.
Hey, banners. Nope, I'm fine carrying the Inquisition banners. Basic. You know what? Let's have Inquisition heraldry. Yeah, see, Templar banner. So we don't know why that's up there. Tempted to put Free Marcher here, just because, technically speaking, the Inquisitor, the Lavalin, and Trevelyan, for that matter, are both Free Marchers. Like, that's where they primarily hailed from. So... didn't think I'd unlocked that one yet. Anyways, leave that the same. Windows. I actually really like the Frostback Basin windows. They're pretty. Sorry if that was a little loud. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. I have not done any inventory sorting, and so, I'm fine. Back to the main hall. Alright, I think I've now actually talked to everyone, which is great. And so... I can, therefore, go and organize. What my advisors are doing. Okay, so, located Venatori Enclave fires on approach. Assumed they torched their camp while retreating. Not the case. Camp already destroyed. Venatori dead. Dwarven tools found, but no dwarves alive or dead. One deep stalker corpse found. Signs of blight corruption. Best guess Venatori surprised by force emerging from the camp well. Assumed they left the same way. Well collapsed. No passage possible. Enclave scoured for resources to return to Skyhold. On return to Inquisition camp, message found next to a newly opened sinkhole. We always come for our own. What about you, Inquisition? Benthos Warhelm Kal Sharok. Cool. Alright, trust. Inquisitor, Knight and Checha Cosette sends her thanks. As promised, she has provided us what she has learned of the Venatori. Commander Helene. Okay, and... Alright. Expose the double agent. The following is a confession that I, Abernal Harish, known as Painter, when in the employ of the Inquisition, did betray our cause in exchange for promises of a title from the Venatori. I acknowledge the mercy of the Inquisition in allowing me my life in exchange for the secrets of the enemy, who I have now forsworn. And I willingly serve my sentence in prison. Abernal Harish, as witnessed by Liliana. Okay. Alright. This I need to do. Regardless of whether Cole is a demon or a spirit, he remains vulnerable to Venatori binding magic. The amulet of the Unbound, used by Ravini seers, is said to protect spirits from such magic. However, finding such an amulet in this part of the world will be difficult. Liliana is thinking steal a piece from the noble. My Ravani contacts say these amulets are held dear, but to protect spirits from the breach, they are willing to help us. I will let you handle this. And Nightingale, I have new information regarding Duke Antoine of Wycomb's move against the Inquisitor's Dalish clan. It appears that Wycombe has been experiencing some sort of plague that affects only humans. The Duke has kept the news of the disease quiet as his fellow nobles grow louder in their anger, blaming the elves in the alienage for what has been called the Knife-Ear Plague. Antoine evidently chose to use Clan Lavalin as a scapegoat. His surreptitious move against the Dalish was an attempt to convince his nobles that he was taking action. Suspicions in the city remain high. I can gather information, but any action on my part will be high risk. Jester. It is risky, but I could attempt to send assassins to end Wycombe and his threats to the Dalish. Or Wycombe believes himself an ally of the Inquisition. My ambassadors can go where Liliana's agents cannot, and Colin is not participating. I don't know about that one yet. The Venatori are smuggling red lyrium into Antiva. Thus far, they evaded our grasp. We believe Lord Enzo of Rialto is assisting them. Enzo is clever, well-liked, and has relations among the Antivan royalty. If we approach him without proof, he will bury his tracks and turn his allies against us. We must handle this carefully. Lord Enzo attends theater on the same night each week. His home is empty, save a few servants during that time. My agents could pay a visit, or yeah, let's not endanger your family with that one.
Inquisitor.
And what do I want Colin to do? Let's not have him try to gather coin. An offer of help on their terms. A hole in the surfacer's precious sky are not our concern, but the thing that did it, if this magistrate really brought the blight and the darkspawn when in front of law. Follow these instructions and you'll catch the enemy sleeping. Tell your soldiers not to leave the main tunnel. That's your only warning. Alright. They hold their secrets dear, do as they say. They can have their secrecy, but we don't know the threat on the other side of this passage. I'd send double that to even a threat of Venatori. Alright, Colin, you can handle that. Okay, well then. Thank you all. Alright, game. Alright. There's so much I need to do. And apparently I have hit the hit point bug again. Alright. So what is going on? Where are we going? Well, nowhere in the rest of this episode. But my plan is to do these things eventually. I need to talk to Sarah about that. And then possibly go to the Exalted Plains. When next I play. Which, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And in the meantime, in between time, take care, have fun, happy trails.